The animals, weary of living under the constant threat of Simba's sharp claws and powerful roar, gathered secretly in a hidden grove one moonlit night. The zebra, the antelope, the warthog, and even the little meerkats came together to discuss their plight. "We must find a way to end Simba's reign of terror," said Jabu the giraffe, stretching his neck to look over the crowd. "But how?" whimpered Nala the gazelle. "He is too strong, too fierce." Just then, a small but clever rabbit named Kweku hopped onto a rock, his whiskers twitching with excitement. "Friends, I have a plan," he said, his eyes twinkling mischievously. The animals leaned in close as Kweku outlined his cunning plan. The next morning, with the rising sun painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, Kweku set off to meet Simba, hopping along with a spring in his step and a grin on his face. As he approached Simba's lair, he could see the lion lounging in the grass, yawning and stretching his massive paws. "Good morning, mighty Simba," Kweku called out, bowing low. Simba glanced at Kweku, licking his lips. "Where's my breakfast?" he demanded, his voice rumbling like distant thunder. "Great Simba," Kweku began, his voice trembling just enough to sound convincing. "I was bringing you a plump, juicy deer, but on the way, we encountered another lion. He claimed to be stronger and more powerful than you, and he took the deer for himself." Simba's eyes narrowed, and he growled deep in his throat. "Another lion? In my territory? Show me this pretender at once." Kweku led Simba to an old, abandoned well in the middle of the savannah. As they walked, Simba's tail swished angrily, and he muttered under his breath about how he would teach this intruder a lesson. When they reached the well, Kweku pointed down into the darkness. "He's hiding down there, great Simba, too afraid to face you in the open." Simba peered into the well, and saw his own reflection in the water. Thinking it was the other lion, he puffed out his chest and let out a mighty roar. The lion in the water roared back, and Simba, in a fit of rage, jumped into the well to confront his rival. As Simba leapt into the well, Kweku couldn't resist a little chuckle. The sight of the proud lion, splashing around in the water, trying to fight his own reflection, was too funny to resist. Simba thrashed and spluttered, realizing too late that he had been tricked. "Help!" he cried, flailing his paws. "Get me out of here." Kweku, sitting at the edge of the well, shook his head and said, "I'm afraid you're on your own, Simba. Perhaps you should have considered swimming lessons." Back at the grove, the animals were waiting anxiously. When Kweku returned and told them what had happened, they erupted in cheers and laughter. The giraffes giggled, the zebras pranced, and the meerkats performed a little dance of joy. Even the usually serious tortoise managed to chuckle. That night, the animals threw a grand feast under the stars. They feasted on sweet fruits and crisp vegetables, and danced to the music of crickets and the soft rustle of the wind. The air was filled with joy and relief, for they knew they were free from Simba's tyranny at last. Simba, thoroughly humbled by his experience, eventually climbed out of the well and slunk away, too embarrassed to show his face in the savannah again. He found a quiet corner of the forest to live out his days, far from the laughing eyes of the animals he once terrorized. As for Kweku, he became a legend among the animals. His cleverness and bravery were celebrated in songs and stories, reminding everyone that sometimes, the smallest creatures can bring about the greatest changes. The tale of the lion and the clever rabbit teaches us that intelligence and wit are powerful tools that can overcome even the mightiest adversaries. It also shows that a good sense of humor can lighten even the most serious of situations, bringing joy and unity to those who need it most.